Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel outside the target demographic. Today we're going to be revisiting something I had discussed during my how to modify your everyday carry flashlight systems, and that is the high visibility zip ties. Let's get started. So for those of you who recall, and for those of you who haven't seen it, consider rewatching that video. The how to modify your everyday carry flashlight system involved using a high visibility zip tie to help you locate your flashlight. Now this is twofold. You have a high visibility zip tie, but you also have a high contrast. If I set this on something that's white, on something that's black, on something that's green, gray, what have you, the contrast isn't the background itself. The contrast is the fact that this will always be dark and this will always be bright. Drawing from another video I did with my setting up my everyday carry cell phone case, I discussed how I carry a Victorinox Cadet with a zip tie on the keyring. Now this is also twofold. One, I have a high visibility means to find the knife, but also I have a way in the very thin pocket that it's in to give me a finger hold to be able to get leverage on and pull the knife. It also gives me a longer handle if I apply tension on that, and I can get all my fingers wrapped around that blade. So I'm going to run a quick vision test on you guys. Identify where the charging cable terminates. Go. Too slow. Now, what if we put one of the zip ties on the end of it? We know exactly where that is. Now, if you think that's unfair, we know exactly where it is. On the subject of zip ties, I'm going to show you two tricks that I've learned. One, that's the grandfather clock. Everyone should have one. Once you've connected the zip tie, you can cut it and still be able to reuse it. So what you're going to do is the end that doesn't have the ratchet head, so the end across from any excess we have pointing out, if you cut there and pull that bit through, I've only lost 1/8 of an inch of usable length on that zip tie. The other trick is, if this is the only zip tie I have, and I want to be able to use the entire length, I just need a sharp implement, be it a screwdriver, toothpick, paper clip, sharpened stick, or Victorinox Swiss Army knife. As long as I can get to the inside of the loop part of the ratchet head, I should be able to unlock the mechanism. Basically how a zip tie works is you have the grooves on the one side of the plastic here, and there is a ratchet head. There is a single tooth right here that is essentially spring-loaded to catch on these grooves. It's a one-way valve in that it'll catch on the grooves as you tighten, but it will pull shut on that groove to make sure that it doesn't come undone. On the inside here, you will see that there's a hole, a gap. All I have to do is push in and pull, and I can defeat the lock and be able to reuse the entire length of the zip tie. So let's say you have a black jacket with a black zipper. Finding that can be difficult in the best of lighting conditions, let alone in the dark when you're probably going to be using it. So if we take our zip tie, put it to whatever length you would want, it's now going to be higher contrast, much easier to find, even in the dark. and it will give you an additional longer, in this case 3 fingers versus just the 1, zipper pull. In addition to using the zip ties to identify and better operate zippers, you can also use it, as I have on my EDC bag, at the top of my bag for the top carrying handle. Not only does this identify where the handle is, it also identifies where top is. So by having a couple of these zip ties on me at all times, in addition to carrying the bag of zip ties, I can reuse them, I can identify with them, I can orientate with them, I can get better grips on things, I can get better purchases on things, I can now grab things that were originally a little slick. I now have a nice knurled nub that I can get a good grip on that, especially when I am wearing gloves, which is probably the time that I will be trying to grab a black zipper on a black jacket with no feeling in my fingers because I have gloves on. I have now made things larger without adding weight, giving me better ability to purchase them with my fingers in adverse and dark conditions. This is outside the target demographic. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Any questions, comments, concerns you have in regards to the video, I'd love to hear about them in the comments section below. I'm really trying to get a community growing with this, and any feedback you have would be greatly appreciated. So consider leaving a comment, consider subscribing to the channel. I'll be trying to drop a video once a week, and subscribe if you would like to be part of all that. I appreciate you guys stopping by, and I will see you in the next video.